Yeah. What's good, yo? Hippie soul in the building, man. So, like, yo, welcome back to my channel. On this video, guys, we're gonna talk about like three spiritual ways, right? Spiritual. Let me put it this way. Right? This is what we're gonna talk about on this video. We're gonna talk about three spiritual side hustles. You understand? There's plenty of them. There's a lot of ways that you can hustle using your spiritual nature. Understand? Your spiritual gifts, your spiritual like insights, everything that is spiritual. You can actually have a side hustle on it. You understand? So it's like a lot of people, right? They have things that they know that they only them like that it's only them that those things can be offered to the world. You understand? Like a lot of people have some crazy ideas, guys. Understand? There's a lot of people with some crazy ideas out there. You understand? So, and some of those people, let me say, most of those people are people who are lost into either religion or people who are lost into ways of the world, right? Or people who are lost into somebody else's idea about them. You understand? So they are still thinking that, okay, I'm this kind of person, or they just lost into a way of relating with people around their circumference. You understand? So it's like they're always trying to factor in whatever or whoever that they are. You understand? Inside of whatever that people got going on. Understand? As far as what they think about them. You understand? So a lot of people have a lot of way that they perceive you. You understand? And if you're gonna perceive yourself based upon that, like you're always gonna look at other people how they perceive you, and that's how you're gonna perceive yourself. Then you're never gonna see your spiritual powers or your spiritual gifts, things like that, because you will always follow whatever that person is putting up there for you in the pedestal. Understand? So if the idea of that person, right, of success is somebody who has abundance of materialistic things, then you're gonna always wanna have materialistic things. You understand? Subconsciously, you won't even know that that's what you want until you can actually consult yourself and ask yourself a question that, what is it that I really want in my life? You understand? So like that's a good way again to start this topic, because number one, right, on the things that you're gonna have to do to start a spiritual side hustle, right, or a spiritual side hustle that you can do, right, because you have to understand that like the universe, right, the universe works like in long term. You understand? The universe is playing the long game. You understand? So if you are all about the short game, right, if you're all about short gains and short quick gratification, whatever they call it, if you're all about that, then you'll never you can never accumulate huge success. Understand? Or you can never accumulate huge wealth, by using your spiritual natures. So you have to learn how to exercise your spirit. Understand? You have to learn how to exercise your energies. You understand? You have to learn how to exercise your magnetic field. You have to understand that you are a magnet and you attract things. You understand? Based upon what you do spiritually. So what I mean by what you do spiritually basically is that like a lot of people don't even have like spiritual routines, that they do to tap into that spiritual essence, that non-formless power, that non-formless powerful force that creates everything. Understand? So they always trying to pray, and they pray and do the same things that they do on a daily basis. So it's like you can never change, and you go back and blame God for the things that happen in your life, but whereas you always stuck into the same routine and pattern. So it's like, right, number one, right, on the things that you can do spiritually, right, I mean there's spiritual side hustles that you can do, and the key word is side hustle. Understand? Side hustle. These are not things that you're gonna immediately do, right, and then you get the money off of. You understand? Like I said, the universe plays the long game. So whenever you ask the universe something, you gotta expect to play the long game. Whereas, like, this is how it is. when you expect to play the short game, right, when you expect to take shortcuts and play the short game, then this is what the universe is going to do. It's going to force you to learn how to play the long game. But if you are willing to learn to play the long game, then it's going to force you to learn to play the short game. Understand? So what you have to do is that stick into the long game, so that you won't have a lot of expectations and all that. Understand? So the first thing that you're going to do, right, the first side hustle that you can do, right, with your spiritual natures, or the first spiritual side hustle that I have for you that you can do, is to actually find something, right, that you value, right, something that you value in life. You're not gonna find it by just looking sideways and up and down. No, you're gonna have to do a lot of bit of like self-introspection, a lot of bit of like meditation inside, so that you can get to that specific thing, you understand, that you value in life. And once you get that thing that you value in life, find other people, right, or find a location of people. It might be a group, a social group on internet. It might be a people who own a non-organization group, or it might be anything that are interested in that thing, right? And then give them, it might be information, you might be having like a certain kind of information, so it's like give them that information for free, you understand? Give them that information to the fullest of your potential, right? Like, because that's what you value, right? And that's what you know, that's what you're good at. So give lessons about that, you understand? Learn it. If you don't know more about it, learn it more yourself. For you, it's gonna be natural to learn about it, because it's something that you love, you understand? And then share it with other people who are not willing to learn and take the time to read books or do meditation and stuff like that, and then share it with them, understand? Share it with them. See, for me, I've always like wanted like a financial freedom, understand? But it's not the higher thing on my like list of things to accomplish in life. The highest thing on my list of things to accomplish is complete freedom, understand? Freedom to do what I want whenever I want, without even having to worry about anything, understand? That's all. So everything that I do, right, everything, if you're gonna have to follow my actions or the things that I say, is gonna lead you towards that, you understand? Until you actually find whatever that you want, you know, and then you're gonna be pointed back to the direction of what you want, understand? For me, it's like you can watch my channel, but you have to know that no, this is me, you understand? And you have to find you know. And looking at my channel will be like something that you can look at to always remember. Like for me, part of my spiritual routine, like it involves like listening to audios, you understand, of people talking about the things that I want to achieve, or the things that I want to do, or the things that I want to learn about, you understand, instead of watching other things that are not necessary for me to know about, you know. So focus, like that's why they say, like once you, and I'm gonna upload a video about learning about the laws of the universe and the purpose of learning about the laws of the universe, understand, so that you won't have to even develop patience, so that you can achieve this. You will naturally be at a patient state, you know. It's gonna be there naturally, you know. You won't even like feel the urge to act upon that thing when you don't need to, because you know, you like, you know yourself, you know the steps that you need to take, understand, for you to get to know that thing and to give it off to people who need it, understand. So that's the spiritual side. That's it. You know what that will do? As I say, the universe likes to play what? The long game. That, you know what that will do right there? That will help you like to reach out to people, right? To the right people that are gonna help you to actually monetize that, understand? You giving it the information for free, or giving whatever that you know, the skills, whatever that you can do. Like I said, find something that you value. It might be reading, it might be things that is physical, it might be things that you can actually create in front of people, you know, who want to learn about that. And then the value that you give them is gonna be given back to you. And the more you are willing to play the long game, the more you have to look at it as an investment, understand? It's like the more you are willing to play the long game, the more you are willing to invest, understand? So, you know, the more you are willing to invest, it's like the more that's gonna return to you, you know. So it's like, that's how it is, right? So that's number one. You find something that you really, really value, right? Something that you can, like, even if they can wake you up in the middle of like the morning a.m., understand, and then they slap you on your face and say, what is what, you can say this and that and that, instantly, because you know it. You know that's the thing that you love. That's the thing that you value. You understand? So, if you, like I said, if I value freedom like this, I'm always gonna gravitate towards things that give me free time, free money, free everything. You understand? But if you are interested into like things like relationships, right? If you want to build better relationships in your life, right? Or if you are good at building better relationships, then that's what you're gonna have to offer to people. You understand? Regardless of how many people are there already that do that, you understand? That you think are better than you. Because this is what happens. A skill, it doesn't come once, you understand? It comes and then you have to develop it. The more you grow, the more you have to develop the skill, you understand? So that you can be on the same frequency with people who need it, you understand? Who always need it, from the from the evolutionary scale, bottom to the top, you understand? From new spirits to old spirits, from new souls to from old souls to new spirits, from new bonds to old bonds, you understand? Which is elders and kids. So it's like that. So like number two, right? Number two side, my number two spiritual side hustle, right? Is that like the first one was finding the thing that you value, right? Now the number two thing that you have to do as a spiritual side hustle, right, is that you have to like, so like number two is about investing your time, right? Investing either your time or money, right, into the world, into the goodness of the world. If you can invest your time and your money into the goodness of the world, then you know everything. Like if that's your goal, right, to work on the betterment of the world at large, and the universe, because the world is the universe at large. Once you have the consciousness of helping people in the world, right, you're gonna start thinking astronomically, you understand? You're gonna start thinking way beyond the box of the world, you understand? You're gonna think beyond the world, because that's what you're trying to help. You're trying to get the consciousness of a higher being that's gonna look at the world as something they can help. Because if you have a lower consciousness and then you're looking at the world as something that can help you, then you cannot be in a position whereby you can help the world yourself, because people are gonna detect it, understand? Even if you can force it into other people's life to say, okay, this is what you need, this is what you like, people are gonna detect it, that this person is only doing this for money, you understand? He's not helping us for the betterment of the universe, or for everyone. Like, think about it like this. Look at people who are, like, a lot of people who are rich are spiritually inclined, but they don't even understand what being spiritual is. So they'll never put it that way, because, like, look at a lot of people, right? Like, besides the fact that these people are being controlled, right, and their assets and whatever are being controlled, right, by the ultimate elite, understand? The higher head, the top elites, understand? But these people, they still manage to, like, once in a blue moon, give up to the world, give certain things to the world, help build schools, do whatever, and help the world, you understand? So by them doing that, they don't even think about getting the return back, because remember, like I said, they are being controlled, right? So when they do these things, they do them whenever they have the opportunity to, you understand? And then once they do these things, then it's going to be a ripple effect, because whatever that they do is going to bring money to them, because they don't even think about getting money back, because they have abundance of money, you understand? So once you can have that mentality too, and give off what you have, the time that you have and the money that you have, and give it all off to the, like, invest into the world, you understand? You can build something, right, with your money, and that's going to help the world, you understand? And once you can build that thing, then somebody else is going to want to build a better version of it, and by that already you've got the exposure, and then people know that this is the person who created this, or you yourself can put that thing on the pedestal, and then it can actually be seen that this thing can help people, understand? And then it can be used, you can monetize it, and then have money on the other side. Like, you have to understand that monetizing is like an option button, understand? That's there for all of us, but you have to work to a certain degree for you to activate that monetization button, understand? Think about money as like a button, right? It's a button that's just there, right? And you have to wait for it to turn to a certain color, right? And the thing that's gonna tell you that that button is gonna turn to a certain color is the amount of work that you put into whatever that you're doing, right? So the more you put into whatever that you're doing, when that light, right, when that light starts beaming, right, then you know that whatever that you've been doing, it has created profit for you. You understand? Then you can press that button and then monetize it. And then when you press that button, the money is gonna come automatically. You won't ever need to work anymore. You understand? For you to get that money, you know, it's gonna come like in so much, like in such a huge amount that you won't be able to, like you will only be forced to like stop working. You will be forced to settle down and stop doing everything that you've been doing for money. You understand? That's how it's gonna come. Once you, because you have to understand, once you work from a spiritual essence, like once you work from your spiritual essence, you multiply things. You don't, even when, like even time doesn't exist, because it's already, like once you get into the spiritual space, there's no time, because it's already been multiplied so many times that time is just one thing. You understand? So like it has been multiplied to a point whereby there's no longer like, and let me not even get right. What we are talking about here is side hustles, right? So that's what you're gonna stick into. That's what you have to know for now. Because like me, I always get lost into the cosmos. You understand? So every time I have to like come down and bring certain things and ground them so that a lot of people can relate and understand and things like that. You know. So, but you have to understand like. But like anyway, that's number 2, right? You invest your time, your money. Like you can even invest your, but you don't need to invest your emotions. That's one thing I'm gonna tell you, because your emotions will just follow the idea, you understand, that you have. So that's why I'm saying find something, right, that you can put your money into, right, or that you can create with your money and your time, and give it off to the world for free, right? Things that you spend on, give it off to the world for free, right? And then in that way, you're gonna receive more. Understand? Just like in the very same way I made an example about people like Bill Gates who giving off to people, schools, whatever, and then getting way more returns from that. Understand? Than money can ever pay. You know, and money on top of that as icing on the cake. Understand? So it's like, that's just number 2, right? And mind you, there's like billions of ways that you can actually monetize your spiritual essence, you know, that you can actually like use your spirit, or like use your spirituality, you understand, to, because right now we are just using our physicality. That's why we are working so hard, you understand? We are constantly working so hard, using our physical energy to manifest things, you understand? But what I'm saying is that you can use your spiritual energy now. The energy that is formless, shapeless, that's imperfection. Understand? You can never point and say, okay, this is what's wrong with this energy. When you're looking at the overall of it, it's perfect. You understand? So that essence there, when you work from it, you don't run out of energy, you don't run out of anything. You understand? But it takes practice for you to actually trust that if you can work from that place, you're gonna receive more. You know, because a lot of people always want to receive, but it's never in them to give. Understand? So it's crazy. If you're that kind of person, you don't even need to expect anything from anybody. Understand? You have to be the kind of person that just works for whatever that they work with, you know, because like anyway, number 3, right, on your spiritual side hustles that you can do, right, invest into people, right? Let me clear this investing one, right? Like, think about it this way, guys. Say that there's something, right, that you wanna do, like you are inspired to do something, right, for the world, right? Say things like there's a lot of people, right, who have desires, right, unique desires, like things like having to go to Antarctica to check what is actually happening there. Like, it's not everyone who's gonna like want to know what is happening to other Antarctica, you understand? But people who have it within themselves to say, okay, I want to check there, you know, like there's a lot, think about it, like, you know, there's kids who are born with this innate, like, knowing of having to be the ones that are going to help the world with certain things. Like I saw a post, right, about somebody, a kid, right, who feels like his goal is to actually plant trees in the world so that the world can never run to a point whereby there's no trees, understand? Because we're obviously going to die. So that kind of thing is a spiritual gift, understand? So you have to find it. As I said, there's billions of things that I can give you, but I'm just giving you the picture to see that how like the purpose of working from a spiritual place and how it's going to help you to manifest more than if you had to work hard, invest into cryptos and invest into other things that you don't necessarily need to invest in because they are risky. Working is risky, you understand? But helping people is never risky, you understand? To a certain degree. So that's why I'm saying, if you can tap into your spirit, you're gonna know to what degree you have to help people, you understand? So that you won't have to force yourself into spaces that other people have to come in to help those people, you know? Like, for example, a lot of people will find other people fighting, right? And they will try to stop the fight, right? And it's not your thing to stop fights. You know that you are not a fighter yourself, you understand? So you might end up being the one who's killed in that fight because you are not meant to be that kind of person, or you don't have those kind of energies to push out so that you can settle things in that direction, understand? So if you don't have that, then you can stick to number 1 and number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, understand? The ones that I didn't mention, that you can actually think for yourself, you know. But it's like, if you have that innate like for me, the innate knowing that I know about myself is that I was meant to actually help people raise their consciousness, because these concepts come to me like it's like a flow for me, you understand? It's like a flow. I get into a flow state and then I know what to do, what to say, and I can actually see these things play out inside of my mind, you understand? And I used to do it unconsciously until I lost it, and then I had to develop it consciously, you understand? Like I used to hang out with my homie, you understand? And we used to chop it up at the park there. Like I was like about 16 years that time. We used to chop it up and speak about these kind of things, like exactly these kind of, the way I'm speaking right now, you know, like things that are far out there for people to think about on a regular day, you understand? We used to bring these things to I used to talk about it. He used to ask questions. He knows how to ask the right questions, and I know how to give the right answers, or how to bring them to this third level dimension, you understand? So it's like, if you have that innate nature, like me, as I said, I feel like my innate nature, because I have a lot of things going on for me, but so that thing alone, like I won't specifically go into it, understand? Like me talking on YouTube, like this is not the only thing that I do with my life. Like I work, I go to school, I do a lot of things, understand? And it's because of, right, I'm trying to put on other things and have other spiritual side hustles, understand? Like I said, because being spiritual is about connection. So if you are spiritually hustling, then when you're spiritually hustling, you have to know that you have to give back before you can get anything, understand? That's a hustle. Like instead of like in a physical hustle, you have to actually work for somebody, right? You work, you don't give, you get. You always get. You get a job and then you get the money, you understand? But what you give off is just like the physical energy, you understand? And physical energy is not, it ain't nothing, because physical energy, it can disintegrate anytime, you understand, and form into something new. But spiritual energy stays the same, you understand? So like you have to think about these things, like, yo, there's a lot of ways that you can tap into your spirit, right? And look at the things that you resonate with, right? And then look at how you can put them out there to the world, or how you can get the world to be on the same frequency as you, and then in the very same time receive whatever that you want to receive, or whatever that you want to be compensated with. But when you're spiritually hustling, you don't even need to think about these things and how they're gonna come out. You know, you just have to put it out there and trust that the universe will give it back to you. Trust that the higher spirit will give it back to you. Just like in the very same way, when you work here, you work and put your energy knowing that the boss will give you your money, right? In the very same way, you have to trust the universe. You have to work like in advance, so that you can get the money like in a few weeks or so. It's never going to be so long that it takes like more than months. Understand? It might take more than months, but they won't feel like months. It's just gonna feel like 2-4 weeks. You understand? Because you are actually in the flow of the universe, and however everything is going, you are not opposing. You are going in that direction, so you'll always have energy. It's like in the very same way, a body will continue to move until something that stops. Physics, all that. Understand? So like, I'm not even trying to get to all that, because a lot of people, like, they are not into all that. They just want to know the truth based upon the language that we're using here, so that they can start to take action with their lives. So like, yo, that's all. That's it, man. Hippie soul in the building, man. 3 side hustle that you can do right now. 3 spiritual side hustles that you can do right now, that you can start right now. Having money or no money, you can start having, like, you have to. Spiritual side hustle is not about getting money, right? It's about getting value from the world. Understand? Like, when you do certain things, you're gonna feel more valuable. You're gonna feel the love increase for yourself. You understand? So that's the thing that you actually want, and then money will just be icing on the cake. That's my advice. So like, yo, hippie soul in the building, man. Let's dig into that. Understand? Let's spiritually hustle. Then you're gonna see that when you spiritually hustle, like, the time that you spend working to make, like, if it takes like 3 months for you to make like 60K, right? If it takes 3 months for you to make 60K working physically at a job, then with the spiritual essence, it might take you like a percentage of that time. Understand? It might take you even a percentage of that time. It depends on how you apply the laws of the universe, and the principles and the disciplines, and like, it drills down. But once you can pick a point that you wanna, or pick a direction that you wanna go in, then everything else will just drag on from the back of that. Understand? And you will just catch up with it's gonna catch up with you, because once you become spiritual, you go out of time, and then everything else is just at the back of you. Understand? Life is at the back of you. Everything is at the back of you. There's nothing that can come in front of you without you having to realize it first. Understand? That's being spiritual right now. You don't, yo. But I'll drop another video, man. Hippie soul in the building. Hit that, man. And y'all also gotta cop these things, man. Y'all gotta cop these crystals, man. Crystal hippie in the building, man. What's good, yo? Yeah. Bang.